Hello and welcome to another Giants Editor tutorial for Farming Simulator 15. I've been asked to have a look at the egg laying station and give a little tutorial on how to embed that into a map. So that's what we're going to have a look at today. The map that I've chosen to put it on is American Farms, and I've actually found the mod is already placed on another map, which would be Michigan, and that's where I'm going to get it from and all the relevant bits and pieces required. So we'll open up this Michigan map folder here and we'll find what we need, which if we go through the folder structure here we can find it within map, imported, and then egg station, and we need to copy that across to our other folder, or the other map that we intend to import it into. And I'm going to actually copy this same structure here by creating a new folder called imported. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, like so. And we'll open that folder up, and then I'm just going to literally copy that over like so. Once that's now within the American Farms map folders, I need to then bring this into Giants Editor and then import that mod. So we'll go into there and open up our farm map within the Giants Editor. Okay, so there we are within Giants Editor. I've already put down a place where I think it's best suited, at least for this tutorial anyway. I may move it later on. I'm just going to plonk it down here. So if we go over to our file and import, go to our American Farms folder, into map, our newly created imported folder, egg station, and the egg laying station i3D. We'll double click that to bring it into the map. I just want to basically put it down in this area that I've got in front of me here, so I'm going to do that with the interactive placement, like so. And I'll rotate that to an angle that I feel is appropriate, and move it around a little bit to get it where I think it looks pretty good. Unfortunately, the ground here isn't quite as level as I would like it to be, but we can fix that relatively easily. So if I just bring that over there like so. And we'll go into our train editor editing tool. And we'll use our replace function by copying the level of the ground over here and then changing our tool to replace, and just does help if you're on the right thing. And we'll just make it the same height all around. Like so. We'll just have a look around inside, make sure everything looks as looks good. We might just bring it up just a little bit so that we actually get the correct ground texture come through. like so. There we go. That's fine. So now that we've got that into the map, we don't really need to do much more there as of yet. We will need to have a little bit of a play around with some other stuff, but for the time being, it's now moving on to the scripts. So we'll save our change there and update the map by 3D. There we go. So I'll just minimise that down because we will be coming back to that later. So the next thing to do is actually go into our mod desk, and we need to actually bring over a few things so that all of our functionality starts to work within the egg laying station. And we can do that by just going into our Michigan map here, opening up that mod desk XML, finding the relevant information and copying it across. So if we scroll down, you can see here it says Start Egg Factory, and that is the information that we are looking for. So we'll drag and highlight the whole lot and Control C to copy it, find an appropriate place within our other map and paste it into there. Most importantly though, it must go within the 110N and the 110N down there. But where you place it within that, it doesn't really matter. I would recommend to give a couple of spaces between each section. You may not have these green identifiers, but it just makes it easier to find it when you need to go back in, or if you need to go back in and change anything later. So now that we've done that, we'll just save that again. And the next thing is to actually look at our scripts, and this was a bit tricky because if we go into the scripts on American Farms, you can see that I've actually already got the fabric script just there. But even with that in place, the egg laying station would not start up. It wouldn't even allow me to open the doors or use any of the triggers for the grain, straw, water, etc. And what I found was if I go back into the Michigan map and look at the script in there, and then find the fabric script there, if I were to open both of those, and compare them, you'll find that the one for the American Farms is actually an older version than the one that you find in the Michigan map. And this was where quite a few of the problems lied. So I just updated it. I copied it across and brought the updated version into American Farms by just literally highlighting it within the Michigan map, Control C, re-highlighting American Farms, Control V, and then copy and replace. Now I have the latest version of this fabric script within the American Farms, and most of your functionality will work with your triggers, your doors and everything else. One last thing you need to do there is to actually bring over another script which the fabric script will look for in this particular version, and that one is the water fill trigger, and we can get that from our Michigan map as well. So if we scroll down to the water fill trigger, you can see that there. So we'll just copy that across into American Farms like so. Now what I need to do though is go back into the mod desk and actually tell that to look for this script. You could go in and type it manually, but I find the easiest way is to go back into your mod desk for the Michigan map and copy that line from there directly. There's no chance of misspelling or case sensitive errors or anything like that. So we'll find that water fill trigger which is down here. We'll copy that, bring it over to our American Farms and just put it on the end, just like so. Luckily they're all on the same folder, scripts, so there's no extra lines of text we need to enter. And we'll save again. So now that that's all in there, we're pretty much done with the Michigan map. So I will minimise it just in case I need to bring it back up. If we go back into our Giants editor session, this is where I then struggled a little bit further, because with all of the bits and pieces now exactly where I felt they needed to be, the updated fabric script, the information in the mod desk, I've imported the egg laying station to the map and everything else. I put it in the game and all of the triggers worked, the doors opened, it took my water, my fattened chickens, everything else, but after fast forwarding time a complete day, it still wouldn't start up and actually run. And I found that because I've taken the mod directly from a folder, it hasn't updated the path file name for the pallet spawner. So if I click down here, I can bring that up and you can see in the cinemagraph it actually says pallet spawner there. I close down my terrain editor because I no longer require that. And you can see in the user attributes, which you can access through window and then user attributes to bring this up if you haven't already got it there, you'll see the path file name for egg pallet i3d. But that is actually incorrect. That's not the correct path file name to find that i3d. So if we go back into the American Farms folder and into map imported egg station, you can see that egg pallet i3d is just there. And we need to now update this text box to this path file name, which is map imported egg station. So I'll do that now. One thing to note there, that there is actually a uppercase letter within that path file name. I'm not sure if they are case sensitive or not, but it's worth, just to avoid later issues, keep it as it's meant to be. And I also would recommend to, once you've actually updated this path file name, to simply tab out. Don't just click out of that box, because it may not accept the change if you do. Once we've now done that, I can deselect that and we're done. And I can just resave the map. I can now close all this down, zip this up and put it in my mod folder, run the map and check everything works, which is what I will do now, and I'll see you in game. So we've got 18 chickens from our other fattened chicken coop, if you like, over there. So we're just going to pick up what we've got left over here. There we go. And then we'll head on over to the egg laying station and we'll test out, make sure everything works as intended. There we go, so we've got 36 fattened chickens, and I will see you over at the egg laying station shortly. Okay, so here we are again now at the egg laying station, and I have all of my equipment. I've got water, straw, grain, and most importantly my fattened chickens. And you can see that the egg laying station is all in the game, and if we go in here, the doors do work, and we can have a look around in here. And if we come over to our info panel here and bring up my menu, you can see that it shows all the information, what is required for inputs, straw, grain, water and chicken, and then our output products, which is the egg pallet and manure. Also says obviously at the bottom there that we are out of straw. Well, actually we're out of everything, but we are going to rectify that now. So first of all, it's asking for straw, so we'll give it some straw. So we'll come over here to our case, fire it up, and we'll just drive straight into the egg laying station here and drop off some straw. And you can see that the actual coops there are filling up, and we're done with that. So we can exit, park that up out the way, and we'll just go and grab our grain, which is just wheat. Fire it up, and again we'll just drive in and tip this into the appropriate place. Here we go. Back it up into the corner here, get our trigger and tip. There we go. So we're done with that, so we just exit again and park it up out the way. Switch it off. And we'll come over to our water trailer here. And I'm just using the, I don't know how you pronounce that, COTS, however, universal trailer. In this particular case I've got blue because it's water. So we'll just come in here like this and reverse up to the trigger. Here we go, and refill. You can see the little marker going up on the side there, showing us that the water is going in. And at present you can also see that the motor isn't running because we haven't got all of the items required, so it hasn't started up yet. There we go, so that's now full. We'll just move that out of the way. Park that there. And lastly we will grab our fattened chickens. Open up the back, not required, but looks good. And we'll reverse into place. As you can see, the little door opens and it's giving us the unload, so we will do so. And our chickens are escaping for their lives. Here we go. So we'll just let that fill up, and we can pop back in here, have a look at our info panel, and you can see that we now have 100% straw, 101% grain, 100% water, and 100% chickens at 22. Still says chicken empty, but now it's started up, and there we go. All up and running, chickens, eggs laying, all working. Animations all working. Perfect. So we have it. Egg laying station, which is a placeable, and how I managed to get around it and put it into a map so that it is there when you start a new career. You don't have to purchase it and place it yourself. You just get it at the beginning of the game. Hope this really helps. I apologise for the rawness of the video. As I said earlier on, I haven't felt that great lately, and I really wanted to get this video done and out, so hopefully it's not too bad and it does help you out. Thanks very much for watching. Catch you soon. Bye for now.